All right. Good Saturday afternoon, everybody. It's Alex with you in the Fox 54 Digital Weather Center. Just want to give everybody a heads up at the start of this video. We will be streaming live coverage of the snow. We'll be tracking that here in the Digital Weather Center on Sunday morning, so tomorrow morning. And that's going to take place anytime between 6 and 8 a.m. as that rain begins to change over into some snowfall. Now, again, it's going to be very difficult for accumulations to happen. I still think we get accumulations, but it's just a matter of it being a lighter consistency, and then we get to Sunday afternoon, and a lot of this starts to melt. What doesn't melt is going to return as black ice Sunday night and Monday morning. So that's kind of the forecast in a nutshell, if you will, over the next 24 to 48 hours. So if you're just joining us, good afternoon, and make sure to give us some comments. If you're, let us know where you're listening from. If you have questions about the forecast, please let us know about those, and we'll do our best to answer them as best as we can here. So, again, good Saturday afternoon, and I'm here on Weather Aware Live, and we are tracking that as we go into this afternoon and evening. Forecaster Tori Smith's going to have more updates later on tonight, but let's go and get started with what we can expect, the bottom line for this winter weather event on Sunday. So, again, want you to be weather aware starting tomorrow morning and running all the way through Monday morning as well. Anywhere from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. We've bumped the timeline back just a little bit based on the latest data. A rain-snow mix from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow morning and early tomorrow afternoon. What we're expecting is light snowfall accumulations, and then once this falls, again, we're going to have a period of melting, but there will be some black ice Monday morning and even Sunday night as well as temperatures fall below freezing. Let's go ahead and give you the timeline for this and a better look at kind of how this shakes out tomorrow and early Monday. So Sunday from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., the rain-snow mix is going to happen. Then we get to Sunday afternoon, and you see how the snow is going to slowly move towards the coast, and we're going to have a period of sunshine. Temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s. With the sun, that'll be a brief melting period. Temperature's still going to be very cold, though, so it is not going to be a full-blown melt. There will be some leftovers. And what is left over, Sunday night and Monday morning, black ice is expected to form because temperatures will fall into the mid-20s to start out our Monday. So, again, we're going to have some slick spots on the roads Sunday night and Monday morning. Important to be extra careful out there as we see some of that snow still not melted just yet. And once we get to late Monday morning, I think a lot of that is going to start to melt off. So that's kind of the timeline and what we want you to be aware of for how this is all going to shake out through tomorrow. So I'm going to leave that up for a few more seconds because some people tuning in now, and I want to make sure that you get that because that's really one of the most important parts to this entire forecast. And again, we're watching for what is going to be some snowfall here in the CSRA. Now let's go to the snowfall totals, and these are our two high-resolution models. Again, I'm going to pop myself up for just a moment. So these are the two that really take in a lot of data that the global models can, the GFS and the Euro. So this is taking in a lot more of the micro-scale details and factoring them in. So let's show you what our in-house model, which is the graph, what that shows, showing some totals anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to an inch, some spots just getting a dusting. And remember, there is likely going to be a cutoff on how far north that snowfall can retreat. And right now it looks to be just near I-20. But I do think the snow does include the Augusta Metro at this time. It's not going to be a lot. And remember, I think the big focal point for this is going to be everybody's going to see flakes falling from the sky. I would say 75-80% of the CSRA is going to see snow falling from the sky. But the catch is it's going to have a hard time sticking because temperatures will be above freezing. And today we're hitting 60 degrees. It's going to take a lot for us to cool down in time. So again, what we're looking at is snow's going to be falling. A lot of us are going to see that. Most of us are going to see that. But the accumulations are going to be very hard to come by. And I think the highest totals will be south of I-20 and on the Georgia side of the river. And both of those models, which you'll see here, are showing that accumulation. The biggest accumulations in places like Jefferson County, Glasscock County, Burke County, Jenkins County, Emmanuel County. These are all places where we could see that snowfall and the rates of snowfall being so high that it actually overcomes the warmer ground temperatures and it accumulates. And that is where we'll be watching for that. Let's go to what's next here. And again, I'm going to show you the snowfall totals that we are expecting here in the CSRA. Checking some of these questions real quick. And, anytime, Kim. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. Brian, that's a good question, too. So you see our snowfall totals that we are expecting here. And then, Brian, you're talking about the NAM model, which did go out in Fantasyland and has put out, at times, 5, even 6 inches of snow. The NAM has not been very accurate lately, and the NAM is one of those models where its accuracy has just diminished a lot over the past, I'd say, year or so, and not really expecting 5 to 6 inches. If we got that, I'd be very impressed. I just don't see that happening. I do think these snowfall totals are going to be more in the range of what we will see. I think the Augusta Metro sees about 1/4 of an inch at the highest. Aiken seeing up to 1/4 of an inch to maybe 3/10 of an inch. And then you look at areas like Hepzibah. We're talking about Blythe, the Bath community, down towards just to the hair south of Deering and Harlem. Gibson, Rennes, Avra, Stapleton, Louisville, Bartow, Vidette, Waynesboro, Midville, Wadley, Millen, Summertown, Swainsboro, Twin City, Gillis Springs. These are all spots that I think could see about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of snow. And again, when we talk about this gradient, there is a north to south gradient, but there's also going to be a stripe of snow that gets a very thicker band that's moving into south central Georgia. And that's going to try to slide into the western CSRA, which you'll see here. You see Louisville, Waynesboro. It's Jefferson, Burke, Jenkins, Glasscock, and Emmanuel counties. I think they have the highest chances of some noticeable accumulations on the grass. But it's going to be very tough for that to form. So again, I do think that, you base it off of this snow map here, and we're looking at some totals that they're going to be noticeable in some spots, but it's not significant. It's nothing like we saw in late January last year where you're getting 3 to 5 inches of snow in parts of the southern CSRA. So again, if you're looking for that big snow, the big wet snow, fluffy in texture, I don't think this is the type of setup where we get that, but it is the setup where we at least get enough to coat the ground, and that looks to be about it. And again, Sunday afternoon, we're going to see that melting process forming, and that's when we're going to get a brief window of some sunshine, and that should do the trick to melt most of this away. And what is left over will likely be black ice on Sunday night and Monday morning. So the rain-snow mix, again, happening from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon, skies will clear. We'll have a brief melting period that's going to last about 2 to 3 hours where we get sunny skies, temperatures near 40. That's not going to be enough to melt all the way in some spots, and some black ice will be expected Sunday night into Monday morning. So here's what it looks like when it comes to the snow totals. Again, Georgia side of the river, south of I-20, the most meaningful accumulations are expected. When it comes to the travel impacts, black ice is going to be possible anywhere from the Augusta Metro, point south. I think Washington, McCormick, Edgefield, you could see a few flakes, but this is nothing that is going to be too significant. So again, we're going to see that melting window, and if you're north of I-20, any accumulations that form, I think, are going to melt off on Sunday. So let's go into Futurecast and kind of show you how this all shakes out. So this is Saturday, 6 o'clock, so later on tonight. Notice how the rain will start to pick up once we get into Saturday evening. This is past about 8 to 9 o'clock, and we're going to get some light showers. So we're going to get some rain. Hey, that's good, right? We need some rain. And actually, let's show you the rainfall totals, because some of you have been wondering about that side of it, and that's a good question. So let's show you this real quick. So when it comes to rain, we're getting about maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. We need that. We're in a moderate drought. So not to get lost in all of the wintry weather stuff is the rainfall totals. I think we could see some meaningful totals up to 3/4 of an inch in a few spots. So all this cold rain is going to move in overnight. And the changeover, we're expecting maybe just a hair later. It's all rain overnight, and then we get to about sunrise, and you see the changeover starting to occur right here. This is, Sunday at 5 o'clock in the morning, and watch how all that begins to really just take over as we enter about, say, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So a lot of us, I'd say 80% of the area is going to see flakes. We're going to see snow falling from the sky tomorrow. It's just a matter of how much of that sticks. And you see those temperatures in the mid-30s. It's just going to be just a hair above freezing. So that accumulations are going to be hard to really get down. This is why we're not expecting a significant snow, but we are expecting some accumulations to occur. And then there's that 3 o'clock time frame where we start to see the melting taking shape. So the snowpack starts to melt a little bit Sunday afternoon under the sunny skies, and then past sunset, that's when it'll refreeze and turn into black ice on Sunday morning. So, Rena, if you're in the Blythe area, let me go ahead and show you that real quick. I do expect you to have some travel problems Sunday evening and Monday morning. It's going to be a narrow window for that. But Blythe is in that zone where I think you could be on the outer periphery of about a half an inch of snow. But at worst, you're getting about a dusting to about 1/4 of an inch. So you're going to see some. It's just not going to be a lot. And this is going to happen primarily all in the morning for you guys in Blythe. I think by lunchtime, skies are going to start to clear out. So that's kind of the update on Blythe. Again, any questions, let me know. Happy to answer those. And we're looking at this, again, on Weather Aware Live. This is where we're going to be streaming the weather. This is where we're going to be streaming it for, let's see, I'm looking at some of these comments here. There we go. Okay. So right here on Facebook and on YouTube, on Fox City 4's YouTube, this is where we're going to be streaming some of that as well. And looking at some of the comments now, I'm going to change, because we're streaming this on multiple channels, so I'm going to change the channel here that we're viewing the comments on, just so I can get the best of both worlds and kind of see what we're looking at here. Okay, Cheryl, good afternoon. You're asking about Barnwell. So Barnwell's in an interesting spot, Cheryl, because I think, because you're south of I-20, you're going to be in that zone where there's the changeover. But you're going to see the rain part for the longest. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is Barnwell, and all this rain happening overnight, you're going to see the rain for one of the longest periods of time. This is not going to try to change over into snow until later in Barnwell, Bamberg, and Allendale. So it's going to take until about 10:30 for this to start to change over for you guys in Barnwell County. And you're going to have the shortest window of snowfall. And so because of that, I think accumulations at most get up to 1/4 of an inch in your area. I don't think it's going to be that significant, but you're also going to have the shortest time frame of melting because the clouds are going to stay with you up until about 3 o'clock. So you're going to have maybe 2 hours for that to start melting, and then whatever doesn't melt is going to refreeze over into some black ice. So I think there could be some slick roads on Sunday night and Monday morning. So Cheryl, just a heads up for that. Be careful out there. And Nancy, that's right. Look out for the black ice. Definitely. We want to do that. That's for sure. And again, this is a much lower impact winter weather system. I do want to be clear on that because I don't want us to get caught up in the fact that, I don't want anybody thinking it's a blizzard. I don't want anybody thinking this is like last January. It's not. It's quite frankly far from it. But again, we are expecting snow accumulations from 10 o'clock or starting at about 6 o'clock Sunday morning all the way into 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. And again, this is going to be from north and west to south and east. If you're in the Augusta Metro, well, this is mostly done by lunchtime, and then it's going to take about till 2 p.m. for the skies to clear out. So I think in Augusta, you're going to have about 3 hours of melting. And then in Barnwell, Bamberg, Allendale, Aiken, I think you're going to have maybe 2 hours of melting. So again, temperatures will top out around 40 degrees on Sunday afternoon, and it is going to be a very narrow margin for some melting. But I do think we see black ice on Sunday night and Monday morning. And so, any of those questions, fire away. Thank you guys for asking those. Appreciate that, and that's for sure. If you're just joining us, this is going to play back, okay? And we're also going to be posting this on our website, WFXG.com. So if you're missing this and you're just tuning in, make sure to tune in and you can get the latest details of what we've just discussed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you where you can find our coverage tomorrow morning of this. So here we go. I'm going to show you that. So this is Weather Aware Live. This is what we're doing now. It's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. We will be streaming somewhere between 6 and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And you can find our live coverage of that here. If you want to tune in on TV, on Fox 54, you can view that as well. We'll be giving updates on the hour of this snowfall as it moves through the CSRA. So those live cut-ins will be happening hour by hour as we go through the morning. So I want to give you the heads up on that. We are going to be streaming that coverage of the snowfall and the road accumulations. And, of course, we want you to share your pictures, share your comments, any questions you have about the forecast, whether it's today, tonight, going into tomorrow morning. Make sure to send those pictures of the snow that you see, road reports in your area, all that, because you're our eyes and ears, so you can give us that latest intel as well. So that's the latest from in the Fox 54 Weather Center. We'll have more updates to come. Forecaster Tori Smith going to be updating you on the latest tonight, and we'll be giving you those updates with the latest on Sunday's winter weather chances. So much more to come. Again, live stream starts up in between 6 to 8 a.m. Sunday morning. You can find that here on Fox 54's Facebook page and YouTube. We'll see you soon. Latest updates on my Facebook page as well. That's Meteorologist Alex Carter. You can also get those on WFXG Fox 54 as well. We'll be posting this to our website. Stay on the lookout for that. Have a safe Sunday. More updates to come, and we'll see you soon.